So, as we all know, Season 2 of MLB The Show 24 Diamond Dynasty is rapidly approaching. In a mere 2 weeks from today, everything is going to change. And MLB just dropped a ton of news, including some big reveals on how Season 2 is going to be different and hopefully how it's going to alleviate some of our concerns. So we're going to talk about that here. Leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and let's get into it. First off, the quick bullets. What to expect on June 7th when the season switches over to Season 2. Progress faster in the XP reward path and earn the XP bosses earlier. You can complete head start goals now to unlock the first wildcard slot from the XP reward path on day 1, which you start off with one initially. So that means if you finish the head start goals, you'll have 2 wildcard slots available from the get-go. Then it talks about where you can use these cards. You're building Season 2 squads in Ranked and Battle Royale. You can use any cards in Ranked Co-op and some mini-seasons and Conquest maps. And then they go on to touch on it further here in a blog post. So let's go check that out. So, what changes are coming to MLB 24 in Season 2? Now, year 2 of the season's model. Let's see if they can figure it out this time around. Once again, here's a little diagram of where to expect the restrictions per season-based cards are going to come. So in Ranked Solo, playing ranked seasons by yourself, you are always going to have season restrictions. You can only use Season 2 cards and your wild cards, which again is up to 3 that you can unlock in the XP reward path. Ranked Co-op, on the other hand, is the Wild Wild West. And it's tough. I love the concept of co-op. I really wish they spent more time building it up because there's so many issues when it comes to freeze-offs in co-op, disconnects. And then if you get into a freeze-off and you quit because you don't want to sit there for a goddamn day, then you get a penalty. You can't play for X amount of time because you quit a game that froze. Absolutely blasphemous, but again, that is a little tough too because, you know, in Ranked Co-op, you're going to see like the same 3 pitchers all year. It's going to be your John Donaldsons. It's going to be the same pitchers, which gets very, very tedious. Battle Royale, of course, that doesn't really matter for the season's concept because you don't own the cards anyway. Events is the big thing for me. I don't think in any world events should be restricted based on seasons. Events should be the fun, change it up kind of game mode. You know, it's 3 innings, which is in and of itself different from ranked seasons, for example. But events, its namesake, should be having fun stipulations, whether that be the card series and the different types of cards you use or how the game's played. Again, I truly think an event where you're hitting with pitchers could be a ton of fun because there's a lot of good hitting pitcher cards that are in the game. I think bases loaded scenario where both of you have the bases loaded and you have to see how many runs you can score. I think that would be a ton of fun. There's so many things that they can do with events. I just don't think that we need to be restricting seasons. You know, have an event where you only use players from the Dominican Republic, for example. That would never need to be season restricted. Let us use the cards that we spent so long earning. That's what I want to see. Conquest and mini seasons, again, those 2 are also limited. You did remember that some of the Conquest and mini seasons are restricted based on the season cards. And again, I think that shouldn't really be the case because those are the big 2 modes for offline players. Now, in an ideal world, as I talked about, you would put out new Conquest maps that you can earn cool packs, cool rewards, maybe some exclusive diamond cards. You know, give us stuff to do. You know, there's the XP reward path, which is the big thing to actually grind throughout the season. Let us play something new and earn rewards instead of mindlessly grinding. That should be the goal, is to get your players invested and them wanting to play your game. Not it feeling like a chore to get up to the final reward, which has been the big issue these last 2 years. So mini seasons, again, have new mini seasons where it actually feels like a bit of a challenge. Maybe make it so you have to play on a minimum all-star difficulty or something, and you can earn good, fun rewards. Not everybody plays the game online. There's a ton of offline players, so I think you gotta cater to both audiences if you really want to make people happy. And then play versus friends, play versus the computer, the 9-inning mode, and then casual head-to-head. Those all are never going to be restricted based on season cards, so that's pretty much what we expected. But it's still, we'll have to wait and see. I'm a little, it's just tough. You spend all that time for these cards, and to basically segment into just a tiny little crevice of modes where you can use them is never going to feel good. And that's a big issue that they're going to have, and we have to wait and see how they handle it. Now, the wild card slots. Big thing. If you don't know this, because I see a lot of people who are a bit confused, you do not have to choose one card for your wild card. You can switch up all the time. Every day, every game, however often, every second, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to say, well, we'll choose Willie Mays and lock him in. You can use those slots freely for any card, although I would try and remember as you're picking XP bosses and collection bosses, I certainly think that hitters are a bigger advantage. If you pick a Satchel Paige and you want to wild card him, remember, if you use him in a ranked seasons game, then his stamina is gone. And that stamina does not regenerate unless he's sitting in your rotation and you don't use him. If you swap out Satchel Paige for a different wild card, he is not earning that stamina back. So as you're making these choices, whether it be, your Season 1 collection pack or the XP reward path, you see I took Jimmy Rollins, I highly suggest that you think about it, and hitters are probably the best case scenario. But you scroll down a little bit and you see some pretty interesting stuff. Head Start rewards, which we'll talk about that in just a second here. But double XP is going to be on for the first weekend on the initial drop of Season 2. So you're going to be earning double the progress through gameplay, which is great. Let people get off to a fast start and have a bigger chance to use the cards that they spend so long grinding for. I think that's definitely a good idea. And they also talk about more than 200,000 XP are going to be given out in reward gates for different programs on the drop of Season 2. So there's a ton of XP that you can suckle on right away. And you do get to see what the Head Start missions are. Again, if you complete all 5 of these, you will get that second wildcard slot from the XP reward path right away. So you can start Season 2, and you have 2 slots to use cards that you earned in Season 1 for ranked seasons and those other various modes. And that is completing the Show Classic program for Cody Bellinger, completing the Season 1 recap program that just came out, that with Byron Buxton as the top reward, the Egg Hunt program, the Season 1 awards, you have to get the Mookie Betts card, and Season 1 collection, collecting 250 or up to CC Sabathia. Now, a quick reminder for the Egg Hunt program, if you have not completed this yet, I do have a video up on my channel talking about how to get each individual egg right here. And this one in particular, the Jelly Bean egg, you can still earn it. If you play this Egg Hunt Conquest map right here, if you look in the rewards, you're going to find your Jelly Bean voucher. If you complete the whole map, you're gonna get the 15 Jelly Beans that you can then go into the exchanges and get that egg. So you can still complete the Egg Hunt program even if you didn't get the Jelly Bean egg at first. Here they talk about storylines from the Negro League. Set 3 is going to be coming pretty soon. It looks like on June 3rd, so a little bit before we're actually going to have the season turnover. There's going to be the 3rd set, so a couple new legends you can expect here. Now, these cards are probably only going to be 85 overalls, but 85s aren't that bad to start off the season, and with the Rube Foster captain, it could be kind of a fun team build, and it's definitely a fun experience to play through these storylines. They're extremely well done, and I would highly recommend it. And then scroll down here, they also talk about where more core cards are, and they announced that there will be a Luke Gehrig program coming next week, Friday. So, I don't know if we're going to get like a 90 overall core Luke Gehrig, if we're going to get a 99 season 1 Luke Gehrig, and then some shitty cards. I don't really know what to expect, but that will be coming in next week, Friday. And here again is where I get a bit on the fence, talking about Team Affinity for Season 2. The only cards you're going to be earning progress for those missions are Season 2 cards and core cards. So all of those Season 1 cards you earned, if you're looking to grind Team Affinity, you're not going to be earning progress for, which again, I get they want you to use those newer cards that you're grinding for. I get it. They want to have a reliance on live series. If live series goes for nothing, it's less incentive to open packs, which obviously SDS doesn't want. But again, I just don't think it's a great model to tell people, spend all this time grinding for these cards, and if you really like some of them, well, now you gotta choose. Either have these cards and not earn progress, or use new cards, lesser cards that you might not like as much in order to get progress. It's just tough, and that again is why I have doubts if they can really get the season's concept to a point where everybody is happy. And then they also go on to talk about with the XP reward path, this is a good sign. They do want people to get this completed. I think they've noted that a lot of people didn't get super quick progress within the first season of the XP reward path, and they are trying to make it a priority for people to get through it and get the rewards so they can actually use them before the next season. And then a sneak peek of Season 2. So Team Affinity Season 2 Chapter 1 will be there, of course. It'll begin and kick off the launch of Season 2, and there will also be an other program. Again, just like the beginning part of this MLB The Show title, we'll be back to 89 overall. So the power creep, as quick and expedited as it is, will be returning. Just now, a lot of people have built up a collection of core cards, whether that be live series or whatnot, and then also wild cards will play effect. So if you get all 4 of those slots, Babe Ruth, that's 599 overall cards right there. So it's definitely going to feel different, and we'll just have to wait and see how that's going to play out. The 2024 MLB Draft Home Run Derby and All-Star Game is also going to drop within the Season 2, and this confirms that we will be getting that same draft content from last year, which I think a lot of people really did enjoy, getting those new faces right away in the game that same night that they are selected by their MLB teams. We also get word that the 3 Hall of Famers that are going to be elected into Cooperstown this summer, that being Joe Mauer, Adrian Beltre, and Todd Helton, are going to be getting cards within this drop for Season 2. And of course, the big one, Ken Griffey Jr. in the XP reward path for Season 2. And this card is beautiful, I gotta say. One thing that I think really goes unnoticed a lot of times, specifically by SDS, we like to see different cards. It could be the same stats. We just don't want the same card art. I promise you, it's something psychologically where if you see the same card art year after year after year, it just feels boring and repetitive. So change out the card art like this. That looks fan-fucking-tastic. They did an excellent job with the Hall of Fame card art this year. I really do like it. And I do enjoy stuff like the show classics, when they have those card arts from previous years that we remember so fondly. But when you do it year after year and you see the same thing, it starts to not be so nostalgic in a good way, but rather stale. If you don't want people saying this game's a $70 roster update, that's probably not the best way to go about it. But that is what we know heading into Season 2. Again, 2 weeks away. And you know what? I do think I'm slightly more optimistic. There are, again, a couple things that I am disappointed to hear from the get-go, like team affinity. You're going to have to use cards that you might not want to in order to get progress, which is slightly annoying. And just all in all, I have to wait and see. I mean, last year, all I can speak is from experience. Last year, they didn't really give us a lot of events where you could actually use out-of-season cards. Of course, we didn't have the... Of course, last year, there was a grace period. You know, from set to set. Set 3, you still use set 2. This year, Season 2, Season 1 is out. So that's not the carryover that we had last year. So I really hope that events... they can decide and make that a mode where you can always use out-of-season cards and give us more offline content to use the stuff that we've earned. Because I'm telling you, the biggest thing that I hear from people is they get so frustrated grinding up to a point where they finally get something done, then boom, the overall scale goes up with that expedited power creep. Or now with the new season upon us, boom, I grinded all this, I finally got these cards, and now I barely get to use them because, well, they're gonna be out of season. And I don't have enough wildcard slots to use all of these guys. So that's gonna be a big thing that they really have to nail heading into Season 2. But there are a couple nice things that we heard about them wanting us to complete the XP reward path faster, getting these rewards, and hopefully they can start to make this game a bit more consumer friendly. You know, I think a lot of issues with the seasons model would be alleviated if it was like it used to be, where the fun, exciting cards were earnable in programs right away and not just dished off to packs that, you know, they give us at the end of the season so you can use just a little bit. You know, let us have the fun players like our Aaron Judges. Let us get those kind of guys and be able to really enjoy the game. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Again, a lot of stuff, a lot of things changing very soon. But if you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching.